Hey, it's Patrick Grosser with Fathom Realty, and this is your Cincinnati real estate market update for week 32 of 2021. We're going to show you today 3 specific strategies you can utilize whether you're buying, selling, or doing both in today's Cincinnati real estate market to achieve your goals. But first, we're going to take a look at the numbers in the market from this past week, week 32 of 2021, and compare it to the same week in 2020 to see how we measure up, see how you can game plan to make sure you're on the right path toward achieving your real estate goals. So first of all, new listings are up 1.5% compared to last year. That's not a very big change, but it is a welcome change. Any inventory that's being introduced, new listings into the market, is welcome right now because we are in a low inventory situation still. Closings are down 17% compared to last year, the same week. That's discouraging. We've seen that for about 5 or 6 weeks in a row, a decline in the number of closings compared to last year, which is reflective of less activity overall in the market compared to last year. And considering we were in the middle of the pandemic last year, we'd like to see, as we're starting to claw our way out of it right now, in many cases, we'd like to see more activity in the Cincinnati real estate market week to week, but we're actually seeing compared to last year less by 17%. So we'll keep track of that. Right now, it looks like it's starting to become a trend that may be due just to the lack of inventory that we've been seeing. So hopefully it's not a sign of other things like less demand. Hopefully it's not a sign of that, but we'll keep track of that and let you know. Average sale price is up 14% compared to last year. That's a great number, but compared to the numbers that we've seen recently, it's actually lower. We've seen 17, 18, 19, 20% growth on a weekly basis compared to the previous year, and this week we're only seeing 14%. So that may be a sign, along with the reduced number of closings, that maybe demand is starting to wane a little bit. We don't know that for sure, but that might be a sign of that. Certainly, we'll take a look at inventory here and see how things measure up. Average days on market is down 48% compared to last year. So that means listings are going from active status to pending status about twice as fast as they were the same week last year. In recent weeks, we've seen that number be down about 67%, which means almost 3 times faster homes we're getting from active to pending compared to last year. So again, that's another sign that maybe things are slowing down a little bit. The speed of the market is slowing down. Maybe buyer demand is tapering off a little bit. And then speaking of the seller side of things, inventory, we're at 2.63 months worth of inventory. That includes active, coming soon, and pending. That's not much change from the recent weeks we've seen, but we do see the percentage of that is 38% active or coming soon, which means the listings that are available to buyers right now to look at and to write offers on. That's about 1 month worth of inventory to choose from. And then the other 1.63 months, the other 62% is actually in pending status. It's not closed yet, so it's still counted as inventory, but it's not available to look at. It's not available to write an offer on. So that number, 38% active or coming soon, is actually higher than what we've seen recently, as low as 32%. So we're seeing a little bit of a rise in inventory, a little bit of tapering off of the rise in sale prices. We're not seeing a reduction in sale prices. We're just seeing, compared to last year, we're still seeing a 14% increase in home prices, but we're seeing not 18, 19, 20% this week as opposed to how we've seen it in recent weeks. So it seems like things are slowing down a little bit, they're still very much in the seller's favor. It's still a seller's market. Inventory is still relatively low, buyer demand is still relatively high, but it seems like the numbers are telling us, and what we've experienced as agents and buyers and sellers in the marketplace in the last month or so, that the seller's market is not quite as feverish as it was about a month ago. So it's starting to get a little bit more normal. We're still very much in an abnormal seller's market, but it's not quite as crazy as it was about a month ago. So now that you have a pretty good understanding of what's going on in the market right now, let's shift and talk about those 3 specific strategies you can utilize whether you're buying or selling or doing both in order to achieve your real estate goals here in Cincinnati. First of all, if you're considering selling your home, maybe you've been on the sidelines for a while, you've been waiting for some sort of a sign that it's a good time to sell, assuming that you've already decided where you're going to move to, you know that you want to move, you're not just trying to sell just because of the market. It's a good situation for you personally. If you're also just trying to figure out when is the right time financially to do this, when is the peak in the market, When do we know that we've gotten everything out of the sale of our home? I think it's a really good time to consider that strongly right now, because we have seen that values have gone way up. We've seen the feverish pace of the market over the summer. As we're entering the school year in the fall, we typically see kind of a dip in buyer activity, a dip in the rise in sale prices, and we see that the days on market increases a little bit, so it takes a little bit longer to sell. We're certainly seeing signs of that, as you've seen in the numbers here. So if you're thinking about selling your home, it's a good time for you to move. You should strongly consider doing that, but you want to make sure you do the right type of marketing. So some sellers this year, because the market has been so hot, have done less marketing, trying to do the basics and trying to save a little bit of money. And the problem with that is they find a buyer, but they only find one buyer, and they only find just some buyer who considers their home to be, mostly fitting their needs, but maybe a bit of a compromise. So in the end, the seller ends up getting less money. They end up leaving money on the table, and they don't necessarily get the best terms for the sale of their home, like the closing date they want, not having to pay for buyer's closing costs, not having to do a bunch of repairs, because they've done basic cheap marketing. Again, they've sold their home, they've checked the box, but they're not getting everything out of the sale of their home that they could. What we do for our seller clients is something we call target marketing. So we're not just looking for a buyer for our clients' homes. We're actually looking for the right types of buyers, multiple buyers, and also the right types of buyers. Those that would consider our sellers' homes to be their dream homes, because the features of our sellers' homes match what they're looking for exactly. So we do that through matching up the unique features of your home with the demographic research necessary to figure out what types of people match those. And we advertise online and offline to those people, in addition to general broadcast marketing, the basic marketing that other agents do, as an additional layer of premium marketing to make absolutely certain that you're not just selling your home to someone, but you're selling your home to multiple people who would consider your home to be their dream home. And if you think about from the buyer's perspective, when you're buying a home, of course you're willing to offer more money for the perfect house. You're willing to waive contingencies, offer better terms, the closing date the sellers want, if it's the perfect house. But if it's not the perfect house, if it's more of a compromise, then you'd still be willing to buy it, but only at a certain price. So you can understand from the buyer's perspective why we're trying to find the right type of buyer, the person who would absolutely fall in love with your home. Those are the types of people that we need to market to. We need to proactively reach those people, whether they're actively looking or not. And we do that through the process we call target marketing. So if you'd like to learn more about how that process works to see if it will be a good fit for you, you can click the educational video we put together there at patrickgrosser.com/sell. Now, when you click that link, we're not going to ask for your contact information. We're not going to try to sell you on anything. We're just going to educate you on that process. And you can make an informed decision if it's a good fit for you. You can reach out to us with any questions or how you can get started. There'll be some instructions there at the end of the video if you do want to go ahead and work with us to help you sell your home. Now, if you're looking to buy a home right now, you might be in a situation where maybe it's not an urgent matter for you. Maybe if you found the right house, then you would act, but you're not in a hurry. I hear that a lot. I know a lot of agents do. A lot of consumers think that way, whether they're buying a home or a car or electronics. They kind of browse around. They're just in a just looking phase. They know kind of what they want, but they're gathering more information. They're not ready for any sort of a high pressure situation. So what we offer our buyer clients, if they want to go this route, or even people we haven't met before that meet us through social media or any other ads online, however they come in contact with us, if they tell us, hey, we're kind of just looking, we don't really, we're not in a hurry, we're not looking for anything high pressure here. If we find the right house, we're ready, but we're just not looking for anything, anytime real soon. So they consider themselves to be just looking. I understand that as a consumer, we all do. We've all been through that. But we also know that we go pretty quickly from just looking to just buying if we find the right place. So what we do for our clients and our prospects here is we make sure that we get them the right information. So we set them up on a custom search through the MLS. We get all of their criteria, everything they're looking for in a home, and we make sure that they get an automatic email notification the instant any listings that match their criteria hit the market. So they're the first to know about new listings. They can schedule a showing first. They can get an offer in first if they want to, but we're not peering over their shoulder. We're not asking them if they want to go see this house or that house. We're not making a bunch of suggestions or twisting their arm and trying to get them to buy a house. We're simply providing them with the information they asked for, the way they asked for it, and then we're waiting for them to reach out to us if and when they're ready to make a decision, if they're ready to schedule a showing or write an offer, or if they just have any questions. So it's a very different approach to the high pressure sales pitch or the twisting of the arm to try to get somebody, convince somebody to see a house or buy a house. It doesn't matter if it's house hunting or shopping for a car. That's the typical example we get, is shopping for a used car and being approached by that salesperson who's really high pressure trying to make a commission. We try to be the opposite of that and just consult with our clients and the people who are thinking about buying a home that we even haven't met yet. We're happy to provide that service. We call it our Just Looking approach. So if you'd like to learn more about how that works, how you can get set up with that, again, to make sure you get a custom search set up, get automatic notifications the moment anything that might work for you in terms of a home hits the market, so you're the first to know, but you're not bothered by a pesky salesperson. Go ahead and click the link, patrickgrosser.com/justlooking. Now, if you're thinking about buying and selling, maybe at the same time, maybe doing one before the other, you're not sure which is the right approach, and you may not be sure how the financing works in those different situations. It's a very complicated scenario, especially when the market's moving as fast as it is this year. It's something that you want to get a game plan together before you get started buying or selling. So what we've put together is an educational video on all the different options you have, the financing, how it all works, and the pros and cons of each approach. You can take a look at that video and get yourself educated on your options, patrickgrosser.com/bridge. There's also a brand new option there too called the Bridge Solution, something that's becoming more popular as more people realize how it works. We actually have some clients recently who were able to sell their home for even more than it was worth. They were able to stay in their home. They got cash to pay off some debts that were old that they wanted to get rid of. So they could also put more of a down payment for their next home. They were able to trade up to a better loan. So when they were shopping for their next home, although before they implemented the Bridge Solution, they lost 3 offers in a row, even though they offered well over list price because of the financing they were using. The sellers were much more favorable the 4th time towards their offer. They were in a multiple offer situation again, but they got it accepted. Their offer rose to the top of multiple offers the 4th time because they were in a better financial position. They got a better loan, a higher down payment. The sellers felt more comfortable in selecting their offer compared to the others. So the Bridge Solution worked out really well for them. It works out for a lot of people. Of course, it's not for everybody. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. But if you'd like to learn more about how that works and all the other traditional options, how you can buy and sell at the same time, what's the best approach for you, you can click the link there, watch the video, learn more about what your options are, patrickgrosser.com/bridge. Now, if you have any general questions about the market or how we operate, or maybe something specific that wasn't covered here, you can go ahead and schedule a call with us. There's a link to our calendar you can click. We'll spend 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever you need, to get your questions answered and get you on the right path towards achieving your real estate goals. I hope this information is helpful to you in general. If you'd like to see more of this information in the future, go ahead and hit the like button. Make sure the algorithm gets the information it needs to send you this relevant information that's helpful to you as you go on your real estate journey. We do a couple of these videos every single week, so if you want to make absolutely sure that you don't miss any of these videos in the future, if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and follow our business page and turn on notifications. That's the only way to make sure you don't miss any of our videos. And then also, if you want to make sure you don't miss anything on YouTube, if you're watching there, subscribe to our channel, Patrick Grosser-Cincinnati Realtor. And if you have any topic suggestions, regardless of where you're watching this video from, if you want us to cover anything specific we haven't covered yet, or if you have any questions you'd like answered in a video format, go ahead and drop that in the comments for us. That would actually help us to get you educated, get your questions answered, but also there's probably other people in our audience and our community who have those same questions and would love for us to cover those topics as well. So we'd be happy to cover all of that for you. Go ahead and drop those in the comments for us. I'm Patrick Grosser, and thanks for watching.